and other men, including two of the world's most respected politicians. Their names are then redacted. So once more, we see Prince Andrew's name mentioned in these documents. He has always strongly denied any allegations against him. Virginia Giuffre, 2022 and later.
Sir Keir Starmer has promised he'll not shy away from aggressive campaign tactics hours after Rishi Sunak indicated that the country would go to the polls in the second half of the year. He spoke to Sky's political editor Beth Ribby.
It's lots of directly. The government wants to put fire in their attacks. We will meet their fire with fire because the stakes of this election are so high for working people.
Let's bring in Serena Barker Singh, and Serena, it's interesting that was that framing. John Ashford kind of suggested that was more about policy here, fight fire with fire, and not negative tactics. But what did you make of how this is all unfolding? Of course, do we know the date of the election now, or a modicum more certainty than we had this time?
Well, Jonathan Ashworth was interesting. He said he was expecting a dirty campaign from the Tories, at the same time fighting fire with fire. But the problem is that cuts against their hope message. And also, with this change candidate idea, Keir Starmer has been in politics for a long time to convince voters that he is offering something new with the toolbox. But then, on your point about the Prime Minister's words yesterday, if we take it at face value, well, it's a strong signal that we will get an autumn general election. But we should note some things. First, he said it's a working assumption that the UK would go to the polls at the second half of the year. And it's not something he's pressured into saying, it's not something he's called it into. This is a message he needs to get out there. And it's also quite odd phrasing for the Prime Minister. He, of course, knows when an election will be. He, under the Fixed Term Parliament Act, decides when that is. So he's leaving the option for a spring election also on the table. Now, Labour currently an 18-point lead right now. So the feeling is a November election will give Conservatives more time to turn it around, to say inflation is coming down, there'll be more space for tax cuts in the budget. But though he's down in speculation, I think it's notable that Rishi Sunak hasn't.
Soon, I think we've also got a little bit of a clip of the Jonathan Ashworth who was joined us a little bit earlier, more specifically on tax policy.
The tax burden is too high on working people. We have had 25 Tory tax rises, and as you rightly say, this is the biggest tax-raising parliament in history, so it is too high. But it just loops back to a question that we were talking about a little bit earlier in the discussion, which is you cannot play fast and loose with the public finances. You cannot be irresponsible with the public finances. So every commitment that we make will be costed and funded. We're not going to make uncosted taxation commitments. We think we have got a programme for government, but on the point about the tax burden, yes, it is too high, but your priority has to be growing the economy to raise living standards.
Interesting, Serena. Getting a little bit of detail there on the tax burden too, but we still don't know exactly what taxes may or may not be cut. But Serena, thank you very much. We'll put questions like that to Sir Keir Starmer on Sunday morning. I'll be filling in for Trevor at 8:30 a.m. And Sir Keir is live and exclusive with us in the studio at the top of the show. So do join us from 8:30 Sunday. We'll also be joined by the former US Vice President, Mike Pence. He's in Jerusalem at the moment, talking about the conflict in the Middle East, but also look ahead to another important election next year in the United States. Laura Trott will join us from the government, and dissecting it all is our expert panel, Sir Nigel Scheinwald, Christian Amanpour, Max Truly, and Rachel Johnson. 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Time out for a quick look at the weather. After a very wet start to the year, it will be more set going into the weather, a bit colder than recently. It's mainly dry out there pockets of frost and fog in some western and eastern coastal regions are wet. Eastern Britain, of course, stays rather grey industrial through the morning, with further outbreaks of rain most persistent across eastern Scotland. Elsewhere, they'll stay mainly dry with sunny spells, but there will be a scattering of showers that mostly affects northern and western coastal areas, along with inland parts of Wales. The Spice Girls have been given the stamp of approval.
முத்துமணியா எங்க சார் முத்துமணி முத்துமணி தெரியல சார் வேற துரைமுருகன் தெரியும் நம்ம போய சார் இல்ல இல்ல அவன் நீங்க எஸ் நந்தகுமார் சுவாலஜி அவன் 4 எதுக்கு சார் இது கீழே 14 சார் எஸ் நந்தகுமார் சுவாலஜி வேற யாரும் தெரியல சார்